Day two of the LNG Shipping and Terminals Conference opened with a session on floating LNG. And I'm here with well-known name and character in the industry, Andy Brown. Now, just for those who don't know, you could just explain your job title and give us a bit of a background of the company as well, please.
Yeah. My name's Andrew Brown. I'm the actual LNG Business and Project Development Director for Smit Lamnalco. Smit Lamnalco specialise in marine services for terminals, oil and gas terminals, SPMs and LNG. But we also have an area where we specialise in floating LNG, which when I say floating LNG, I mean floating LNG production and FSRUs that provide gas to shore.
Okay. Now you gave us, unfortunately we can't show it here, but you gave us fascinating videos of an actual operation taking place. And I picked up that you were talking about drum versus render recovery. So could you just go into a bit more detail about that?
Yeah, when we're manoeuvring an LNG carrier next to a floating LNG, we're doing that in open ocean. So as you can appreciate, when we're in the open ocean, we have a variation of dynamics. Now, the first dynamic is the movement of the LNG carrier, and then we have the movement of the FLNG. But to be able to get the LNG carrier alongside the LNG carrier alongside the FLNG, we have to tow it there. So in that process, we use drums and we use winches. And those winches that we use are connected by lines. And of course, when we're in the open ocean, we get a lot of movement. Now, if we have a drum and brake winch, that's very much a winch that's basically fixed. But when you're having movement, a lot of stress happens on the line that's towing the LNG carrier. So what we prefer in open ocean, when we're working in wave heights up to 2.8 meters, is we want to have some slack in that. So the render recovery basically anticipates, in a simple explanation, anticipates that movement, and we can switch it on and switch it off, which allows the rope to pay out and pay in, and basically follow the movement of the dynamic of the ocean. So it's very much like if you're towing a car. If you pull it too quickly, you're going to snap the line. So you gradually take the strain. So what the render recovery acts like a damper. It takes that strain of the line. And that's why we prefer to use render recovery winches rather than drum and brake winches when we're offshore. If we're inside a port or a harbour where we don't have that dynamic of movement, then a drum and brake winch works perfectly well. But in that open ocean, when we have a lot of dynamic movement because of the wave and how the tugs are behaving, how the LNG carrier is behaving, that's why we use that the render recovery bridge on the line, so we can pay out and pay in and recover based on the dynamic of what's happening in the ocean.